Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing? We are here again. This time, apparently, only two. We expected to have a little bit more people, but well, that's the way it goes.
Now we can manage.
Sorry,
We
go
can
ahead.
manage.
We can manage. We already did it before. Anyway, how is everybody doing? So we are talking a little bit today about current events and what is going on. Um, so, Jimmy, I'll let you start, okay?
Okay, well, welcome everybody, and I think we're now broadcasting live on YouTube.
Yeah, correct.
And
That is
so
correct.
really don't know how all this works, but please like or subscribe to our channel, and that helps us get the message out to our community.
Yes,
So
absolutely,
I think
absolutely.
Ella and I today, when we were just getting warmed up for this, we were going to discussing potential topics, and me particular, I like to keep it real, and so current events and what's going on in the world today, and uh, in in my in my journey on this planet, and as a member of the human race, and as a United States citizen, um, and as a transgender person, I've never seen the polarization of our society like it is now. And
Yes.
polarization, that word, you can, the polar ice caps, one's on the one end of the planet and the other one's on the other end of the planet. So that's kind of like how society is elements of society are drifting away from itself. And the unity that we all used to experience is dissipating. And I often ponder why. And I know my mom, my mom is a hardcore, and I'm going to talk politics for a minute because that's kind of what this is about. But my mom is a hardcore Republican, and my mom's sister, Aunt Rosemary, she recently passed, but she was a hardcore Democrat. And they were grown up in the same house, same parents, same upbringing, same exposure to different things, both school teachers, but two totally polarizing different viewpoints of the world. And I ponder that. And they would get in arguments, and these are sisters now. They would get in arguments where they wouldn't talk to each other for weeks. And I never could figure that out until now. And I think my take on this is that there's multiple realities occurring at the same time, but in different dimensions. And so the human mind, we program our mind to fit a certain dimension, and a reality is you can experience reality in that dimension. And my mom thinks she's right, and my Aunt Rosemary thinks she's right. But what they don't understand is they're both right, and they're also both wrong at the same time. And I'll share this experience with y'all. So several years back, I would go on a cruise to the Bahama Islands on a sailboat with some friends, and there's the captain and some other folks, and the captain. And we're in the middle of paradise. We're in the middle of the Exuma Islands, which is a part of the Bahamas. The water is the most beautiful turquoise imaginable, and fish and Jimmy Buffett on the stereo. The drinks are cold, the sun's hot, the wind's blowing, and there's a downright throw the other person overboard argument about politics on this sailboat. And I
Hmm.
say to what are you all doing? You're robbing yourselves of this experience.
Mm,
And so whatever reality that fits your mojo, you jive with, go with it. There's no there's a Native American Indian saying, the right wing and the left wing are connected to the same bird. So we need it's just like the North Pole wouldn't be the North Pole unless there was a South Pole.
absolutely. Yeah.
So the right hand and the left hand complement one another. So that's and we all have to. Okay, so the North Pole and the South Pole, they may be at opposite ends of the Earth, but they're still connected to the Earth. So I think the sooner that there is a realization that we're all connected to one another, and you kind of need one to have the other. If there wasn't a North Pole, there wouldn't be a South Pole. So the idea is to just kind of understand that we all need each other, and we're all right, and at the same time we're all wrong. And it takes both. It takes both that's what the Chinese call yin and yang. Ella.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. I have to say that it's really quite incredible what's going on as well. Just to confirm what you were talking about before, because being a transgender has no politics. There are conservative Republican transgender people. There are liberal transgender people. There are people which are in the middle. Um, as a matter of fact, Bonnie and I, we used to have quite a lot of political discussions about, on during the time. We're not always in the same page or in the same ideas. But we had discussions about it. And I am not exactly extremely liberal, probably a little bit more liberal than she is, but uh, transgender people don't have religion. There is not a religion of transgender people. We are Catholics, we are Jews, we are Arabs, we are everything. There's not one. I mean, I go to the church. I go to many different types of churches. I go to the synagogue. I go to evangelical church. I go to Catholic church. I go to Orthodox church. I love Orthodox church. It's beautiful. So why are they picking against us? Just leave us alone. You know, we love, we leave, and let love and let leave too. You know what? They made out recently, they made out what do you call it, statistics about transgender people. 95% of transgender people are happy after they transitioned. Is that a crime? No, it's not. We are the way we are. We're not, that the amount of people which are dangerous to others, like, oh, we are dangerous in transgender women going to the bathroom with women. Come on, give me a break. How many issues are there? Almost none. Almost none. You're going to have more issues when the trans men, which look really, some of them very masculine, will go to the women's bathroom. Or the trans women, some of them quite sexy girls, will go to the male's bathroom. You'll have much more problems there. Much more, believe me. Who cares? Yeah, there are men which are not transgender and they try to go to the bathroom of women. There are women which are going to the bathroom of men too because, the woman's bathroom is not working properly. Is that a crime? Come on, please. Oh God. But it's the politics and it's the politics at the moment. And unfortunately, it's not the first time that this happens. It has happened many, many times, and it always comes back again. So we are hoping that this phase will go over it and that everybody will get normal again because, we'll leave. And yes, it is true. Extremes touch each other. Always been like that. Extreme right and extreme left is the same thing, just with other words. It's always been like that. What can I say? Politics at the moment, it's really terrible. But I'll give you an example. I know someone which has been, as a transgender woman, has been arrested. Her fault. Nothing, not because she was transgender, but because she did something wrong. And she was imprisoned and she was actually raped by the police. That is not right. We're talking about mainly here in Florida about the driving licenses where they want to put the, what do you call that? The sex at birth on the driving licenses. In many countries, this is like that for transgender people. They do not have the opportunity to change that. One of the countries I've been to there, and they don't allow that. And there is a small, but there is a transgender community, is Dubai. If the police stops you on your car and they see your driving license, and even if you look like the most beautiful woman, but you've got an M for male in your driving license. Oh my God. I know a girl like that. She was raped by the police as well. And I don't have anything against the police, believe me. I know around where we live, we know people which are transgender and they are police people, transgender police people. There is that even there. I don't have absolutely nothing against the police. I love the police. I love the police everywhere. But like any other thing, there are good and bad ones. And you know, just to say that when you have an experience like that and your papers are not correct, you put yourself in a risk which is extremely high. I mean, I traveled the world. I've been in Dubai. If I would drive in Dubai and my driving license is not the same as it does not have the same gender as my passport, there will be a big issue. And right now, what they want to do here in Florida is that my passports, and I've got more than one nationality, they're all female, and my driving license is going to become a male. And in my birth certificate, I'm a female too. So is that correct? It's just putting people in a very, very bad situation, and it is just for the pleasure of, I don't know, sadistic pleasure of trying to do something against you. It's very sad, but it's what it's happening right now. I'm sure it's only a problem of time and it will come back. But during that time, it's going to be an issue. I mean, come on. America, United States of America. Although there was in the history people here that were extreme from one side, it was not like that in the last 20 years. It was open, understanding for people. That's not what America is about. That's what Russia is about. That's what Hungary is about. That's where most of the Arab countries is about, but not United States, please. Give us a break. Anyway, let's not talk too much about politics. Let's talk about, good things, being positive, enjoy life, you know, because that is what we are here for. Oh my God.
So Ella, I'm listening to you, and I do know that all this is so. These are. I think that there's all human beings have a divine right to exist,
Right.
and um, you just have to remember that these folks that are making these policies are temporary,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so there's a higher power than these folks. There's a higher power,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
so if we
Yeah.
live by the rules of the higher power, none of this applies.
Yeah.
And I do know with all these encumbrances, all these hurdles and obstacles and this and that, there's if we react to them, if we react to these rules and regulations, we're probably not going to be good.
No.
But if we respond to them, you'll have a better shot of overcoming these obstacles.
Yeah.
So, that's where if you're in a bathroom and someone asks you to leave, well, then just leave.
Yeah,
But
sure.
if you get in a fight with somebody, it's going to escalate and it's going to make the news. So that's how I live my life. I don't want to. If I see a potential problem beginning to brew, I turn off the heat immediately
Oh yeah,
and
you're
and
absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
being an ambassador for our community.
Yep. No,
And
yeah,
and and, and also every interaction with another human, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, there's an opportunity to shine favor on our community. And that takes some maturity and some self-awareness. Because a lot of people, if someone throws you a punch, the the reaction is to throw a punch back.
Hmm.
But if somebody throws a punch at you and you just move out of the way and deflect and then take a neutral posture, that's a response.
Hmm.
So learn the difference between a reaction and a response.
Mhm.
And also too, it's healthy from time to time to look at things from the 60,000 feet perspective. So, and that's what I do. You seem like there's all these problems and oh my God, this and that. But if we look at something from 30,000 feet altitude, it's like if you're in an airplane and look out the window at the city, it's beautiful. It's actually pretty cool. It's all lit up. The buildings, the cars going down the road, it's awesome.
Yep.
So from the 30,000-foot view from an airplane window, the planet's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah,
Unless you're in that.
that is absolutely correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
so
no, what I mean by me, what you're absolutely correct. And um my issue right now is that if my papers are not correct when I'm traveling internationally, I may come to some issues, some major issues. But um, but we will. Yeah. So Bobby just said sorry she couldn't come today. Anyway, but that is the issue. But you're absolutely correct. You've got an issue, you have to go in such a way that it has the least problems on you. And yeah, and you have to be respectful for the other people. And okay, that's okay. It's what I try to do too all the time. And I try to avoid any big risks. But sometimes, when you travel international, it's a little bit more complicated, because you do have to go to these countries and we work to do in these countries. It's my living. So they are, in a way, they are putting a little bit, some breaks in my living. But I'm getting over it, and it will be okay. It'll be okay. And I just hope that this phase will go as fast as possible, because it's getting pretty terrible. Anyway, how Jimmy, you had your what do you call it? Your surgery a month ago. How is it going now? Is it going better?
Yeah, so I had hip replacement surgery on my right side 1 month ago today. And I will say this, as you all know from previous podcasts, I'm a gym rat, and I would say legs are my best body part, extremely strong legs. So I entered this whole thing from a position of fitness and health. So the setback hasn't been as dramatic as maybe someone who doesn't participate in a fitness lifestyle.
Mhm.
So I go see the doctor on Friday, which is the 1 month post-op, and we're going to continue with physical therapy. And I have been going back to the gym, just working upper body, which it's nice to go work out and see all my friends and uh, breaking a sweat and getting into it. The and so and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I'll just throw this in here, even though it doesn't have anything to do with current events. Um, Choose your hard. And I was just yesterday at the gym, I was talking to someone about this. Matter of fact, she's a preacher, a reverend at a church, and she works out, but her husband doesn't. And we started talking about choose your hard. So you can go to the gym, which is hard. You can choose good dietary diet foods, which is hard, takes discipline. But so is being obese is hard. Having diabetes is hard. Um, Being weak is hard. So choose your hard. And so how I look at it is and now being in a position where I'm slightly compromised due to my hip healing, and I've been in this position before with ACL in my left knee, rotator cuff, left shoulder. I've been in a position where my physical activity has been limited. And there's a saying, you don't really appreciate something until it's taken from you.
Mhm.
And I can say with absolute certainty that a person's greatest asset is not your 401k. It's not your house. It's not your savings account. It's your health.
Yeah.
Our number one asset is our health.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to take care of your health. It's hard. It's hard going on a treadmill or a Stairmaster. It's hard picking up weights. It's hard going for a swim. Some things may be more enjoyable to go for a swim in a pool or ocean. If you kick ass, yeah, it's going to be hard. You may enjoy the first few laps, but when you get to about 100, you're going to be wore out. So in order to achieve health benefits from any kind of physical exercise, you have to go beyond your comfort zone, and you got to elevate your heart rate. You have to oxygenate your blood on the cellular level. So, I've been working out. Even the therapist today said, "Hey, your legs still look good. Your legs look great." Well, that's you're doing your therapy. I says, "No, it's 40 years of working out to prepare me for this moment."
Yeah.
So, and I look at that. And you just don't go to the gym once. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. Um, and so to initiate a physical training regimen is going to require tremendous discipline and commitment for about the first maybe 1 month, 2 weeks to a month. You're going to have to physically force yourself to go to the gym because there's going to be excuses, laundry, the dog, the cat, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But if you made the decision and you made a commitment to yourself to get in shape, lose weight, get in shape, uh, it and every time that you go and overcome the potential desire to not go or an excuse, every time we overcome the the possibility of not going, that that resolve gets stronger. So let's look at it this way. On this shoulder right here is a monkey that says go to the gym, and on this shoulder right here there's a monkey that says don't go to the gym. Starve this one. Starve this one. Feed the monkey that's going to get you somewhere. Starve the other one. And after a while, it will become a routine. It'll be embedded into your program, and then you'll begin to see the results. You'll start losing weight. You'll start feeling better cognitively. The brain works better. I've noticed that during this 1 month that my cognitive abilities aren't as sharp as normal.
Yeah.
Because I'm there's cobwebs in there, and working out, a hard workout clears the cobwebs big time.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
You're absolutely right. Health is so important. And I mean, I am not what you call it, I don't train like you do. I mean, I am relatively small. I try my workout every day. I try, but not always, doesn't always do that, is to walk 2 miles, 3 miles, to go and, to just to be outside, have a little bit of movement, have fresh air. And sometimes I go to LA Fitness as well to do some workout. But I mean, my workout is 40 minutes. That's okay. The other thing which is very important as well is food, the good food that you eat, because some people they just have the wrong food, and it is terrible. I mean, I try now to be a little bit more careful to have good food, fresh food. I eat everything. I am an omnivore at 100%. But just try to eat correctly. And there's so many theories what you should eat and what you should not eat. And oh my God, it's really quite terrible. But just follow your own body, what you think is right for you. And your body usually tells you pretty well what is not good for you. So, yeah, but health is really very, very important. It's one of those things that I do every morning to think, my God, please give me health, give me health. And I am very happy. I'm a very healthy person. But Jimmy just went through surgery, and surgeries are, they need time to get better. I had some surgeries too, and not the hip, but others. But it takes a while until you are operational again. And you should respect that because it's for your own good. But it will come. It's always a matter of time. It's always a matter of time. Anyway, apart from that, yeah, I've been doing pretty much a lot of things. My business is flourishing right now. I've got such a lot of stuff to do. So I've been very busy, and yeah, and I'm starting to what do you call it, to travel again. So next week, I am afraid I will not be able to do Transgurus because I will be in Canada, and I'll be traveling back to the United States at the same time as Transguru starts. But the other week should be okay. Should be okay. I mean, I hope so because I have, quite a lot of traveling to do probably in the next days. Apart from that, life is great. Life is really great, and I try to enjoy as much as I can. There are so many themes that we could talk about, and we'll be very, very happy when um, when you send some of the stuff that you'd like to hear. Throughout the ages, trans gurus, we usually used to have always one theme about dating, about peace of mind, about meditation. And yeah, that is something very worthwhile that right now, what we do is to try to talk about what is today, and today, with politics and everything is a little bit more complicated because there's so much going on, but we don't really want to get involved in politics. We want to get involved in our well-being and our what we do every day, and we just want to be let in peace. That's what we want to do because that is, we're doing all this not because of politics. Nothing to do with politics. It just has simply to do with well-being. We want to have our nice life. And we want to have a normal functional life like everybody else in this world. It's our right. It's our absolutely right to do that. So that's what we are doing our strategies to survive and to thrive and to have a good time and to be the way we are. And we welcome everybody which supports us in that respect.
See, that's true. So a guru is a spiritual teacher,
Yep.
and we've always tried to align our conversations with that. And uh, and so I'm just going to recap a little bit of what we already spoke about, where um, I'm telling you, learn the difference between a reaction and a response.
Mhm.
So if someone's sick and the doctor prescribes medicine and the patient responds, that's a good thing. But if the patient reacts to the medicine, that's a bad thing.
Correct.
And that's a way to remember it. So if we find ourselves in a situation where we can either respond or react, because it takes two people to either have an engagement, and that engagement can either escalate or de-escalate or result in mutual admiration. And I'm 6'1", 180 pounds. I'm like my own bodyguard, so to speak. So I've never really had a problem anywhere, anywhere. But I know not everyone is physically large, and
Mm.
so that's our brain. Our mind is our greatest asset when it comes to communicating with other humans. And
Yep.
so, uh, if we find ourselves in a position where we're dealing with someone who is emotionally elevated,
Mhm.
lost their temper, and is mad,
Mhm.
the human response to that, the human is to get mad also. Don't let someone else's hurricane penetrate your tranquility.
Correct. Yeah.
And I know I've had customers or employees or other folks get emotionally elevated around me, and And I usually just try to find a chair and sit down and let them vent, listening, and then by maintaining my self-control, it sets an example for others because it takes a lot of discipline to someone wants to get in an argument with you about something, anything. It can even be a spouse. The idea is to respond in kind, argue back. And when you got two or more humans in an elevated emotional state trying to come to a solution, it's not going to happen.
Mm.
Because when we're in an elevated emotional state, our logical thinking goes out the window. So I
Absolutely.
know owning my own business and my name's on the top of the door. I have to if the uh, if the situation hits the fan and there's a big problem, I have to be the stable one in order to respond in the most intelligent way. How to at least make the situation as least as bad as possible.
Hmm.
And people see that. People see that. Or if I make a mistake, uh, I I acknowledge that I made an error and I apologize. I made an error, and thank you for enlightening me. And there's not enough of that in the world right now. No one's
Yes.
perfect. If you make a mistake, apologize to the person and
Correct.
acknowledge when if you have see this is where the two realities come into play. You know, you're vibrating on one frequency, the other person's vibrating on another frequency. They're going to ultimately not blend. They may not clash, but they're not going to blend. So you
Correct.
have to realize that that person is living in a totally different reality than you are. You have to respect that reality that they have chosen to live in. And you don't have to subscribe to it, but acknowledge it and live and let live
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
And follow your own feelings. I travel a lot, as I told you before. And I've been traveling to very, very dangerous places. I mean, in Brazil, for example, once I took the wrong direction and I went in the middle of a favela, which is really a place which can be very dangerous. And, somehow when you're in a situation like that, the best way is to find your way out as soon as possible. And, but don't try to ignite a fight because it could be very dangerous. Um, but that's sometimes you just have to follow your feelings and try to understand when the danger is there. Some people have got the difficulty on that, I know that, but then they are very provocative, and it can be an issue for them. So just have the small feeling about what's going on and what the other people think, because that can save lives, mainly yours, you know, mainly yours. So this is how we do. When you travel, you are always, you are very often in the unknown. Um, because you are in a new place and you don't necessarily know what is going on there. But you soon understand that, people with good vibrations, they're all the same. They all give the same vibrations all over the world. It doesn't make any difference what's the language. People with bad vibration, it's exactly the same thing too. They give bad vibrations and you should stay away from them. That is what I always do. Yeah. Jimmy, shall we call it for a day?
Sure. So let me just expand on what you're talking about. That's yeah, your intuition,
Yeah.
the intuition, the um, humans. We emit a vibration, a frequency. Our thoughts are electrical waves that transcend all things, and it's called our aura. And you can pick up on a human being who is uh, spiritually mature, a human being who is receptive to, I don't know how to say it, uh, human beings who are spiritually awake have the antennae. We all have antennae that
Mm,
pick up these vibrations, but not everyone has them turned on. And maybe that's how I'm going to put it. So if we have, through our development as human beings, if we have learned how to turn on our aura and antenna receiver and transmitter, we'll be able to pick up these feelings,
mm.
known as our intuition, as to the presence of danger or the presence of good. And so I think that's one of the, as a guru, a spiritual teacher, it's our job as a guru to teach people how to turn on
Your antennas.
their their antennas
Yeah.
that pick up the vibrations from other people. And that same antenna transmits our vibration that is going
Correct.
to be picked up by someone else who has their antenna turned on. And you know, you can go anywhere where there's a group of people and you'll naturally gravitate to someone, or you'll be in line at the grocery store, who knows where. You'll be in a group of people, even in like a airport lobby waiting on your flight, and there just happens to be someone sitting there, and then you strike up a conversation, and you find out that you have a lot of mutual things in common. But at the same time, you could be in a another airport lobby waiting on your flight and not talk to anyone. So, we cross paths with folks that vibrate at the same frequency that we do. Not
Correct.
all the time, but the more we are in tune to our being, the more influence we have on the manifestation of future events in our life that orchestrate the the probability of crossing paths with someone who has vibrating at a similar frequency.
Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes we even find some people which are, friends for the rest of our lives, which have got the same frequency.
That's right.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching. It was really wonderful to have you today in YouTube. Jimmy, would you like to have the last statement or?
No, I just said
Okay.
peace, love, and happiness,
That is the
and
most
live
important thing in
and,
life.
and live in tranquility. First,
Absolutely.
first with ourselves, and then with all others.
With those words, please subscribe to Transgurus. We're going to try to do it as often as we can. Sometimes we are traveling, so it's not possible. But love you all and bye everybody. Bye everybody.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste.
Hang on one second. Let me know when